What's up, everybody? What's going on? Let me get myself together. That was tough. That was a tough game. Boy, oh boy, man. The highs and lows of that ball game were unreal. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Appreciate every single one of you joining me for another Knicks Nation post game. The New York Knicks lose to the Chicago Bulls 123 to 124. Where do I even begin? Do we begin in the fourth quarter? Man, that Jalen Brunson shot was literally halfway down. Literally halfway down. I thought we were going home with a victory after the first 2.5 quarters of this basketball game. The New York Knicks played with no energy whatsoever. And for them to come all the way back, 17-0 run to close the third quarter, take the lead, then the Bulls would just answer dagger after dagger three. Guys were gassed in that fourth. Brunson had a shitty game throughout the whole game until he hit 2 clutch shots late in the fourth quarter. And then he almost hit a third. He almost hit back-to-back clutch shots for Jalen Brunson. And that is a brutal loss. That is an absolutely brutal loss for the New York Knicks. You know, you have this comeback. You're feeling good. You got to come away with the win. And then Josh Hart. Look, whether you want to say it's a foul or not, he didn't really argue with it. Hand on the hip. Touched his hair. They called a foul. Kobe White nails 3 free throws calmly. Calmly, by the way. And, boy, man, that was brutal. That was brutal, man. I don't know how to get up from that one. That was absolutely brutal. Yeah, man. What's going on, everybody? Towns went off. Karl Anthony Towns. And that's what makes this loss hurt even more. Is Cat played the entire second half of this game, was gutting through, getting kneed in the thigh. He was gassed. Karl Anthony Towns with an absolutely incredible game for this team tonight. And 46 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 6 of 12 from 3, 18 of 30 from the field. Karl Anthony Towns played an amazing game. He did. And look, I was questioning before Brunson hit those 2 clutch shots in that fourth quarter, you know, should Towns get that shot? Should you reward Towns with that shot? But you can't really harp on that because Brunson got a good look, and that shot was literally halfway down. But, man, I would have loved to see Towns kind of get, rewarded with that game winner to pretty much ice the game right there. And this sucks, man. This sucks. Knicks up 2. Bulls, they go for the win. Kobe White. Here comes Kobe White off the curl. And I don't know what Josh Hart was thinking. I honestly don't know what Josh Hart is thinking. If he beats you, okay. Just hope that the shot doesn't go in at that point. If he beats you. You want to do everything but foul in that situation. Everything but foul, especially a 3 in that situation. Brunson just came off hitting possibly a game winner. Bulls down 2. and Kobe White coming off the curl, and Josh Hart fouls him. You want to do everything but foul in that situation. You could tell Josh Hart was pissed off. Pissed off, and as they should be. It's a mistake on his part. After a great game from Josh Hart versus 76ers tonight, that one mistake was a dagger. That was a dagger. And this one stings. This one stings because you went from the worst performance of the season to people turning off the TV. I saw it on the timeline. A lot of people were turning off the TV like, I'm done. No energy. And then in comes Cam Payne, the most energetic Knick on the squad. Gives you a ton of energy. Cam Payne gives the New York Knicks a ton of energy. The Knicks feed off of that. Mikal feeds off of that. Cat feeds off of that. Knicks come all the way back, and then they just couldn't finish the job. But shout out to Cam Payne. I thought he was a spark that we needed tonight because the Knicks were dead for the first 2.5 quarters. And Cam Payne came into this basketball game and really provided the Knicks a spark. And it honestly sucks that we didn't win this game. Oh, man. It sucks. Hit some of these comments. Appreciate every single one of you in here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let me know how you're feeling in the chat. As you can see, as you can hear by my tone of my voice, I'm down, man. I'm not really into it. This game was one of those games where you're gonna remember for a while, and it just sucks that the New York Knicks had to lose this one. Big Taz says, I'm not mad at this loss. This will make us stronger. I know, Big Taz, but I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to process this game. I'm still trying to process this whole game. Tony says, should have never been down 22 to a Bulls team, period. Forget about a comeback. Tony, it's the NBA. I know no excuses coming off a back-to-back. This Bulls team had a few days off, and they were coming in, and they were energetic, man. And the Knicks starters just were dead. Brunson was dead in the first half. No life, no energy, really, from anybody. Anunoby was like 1 of 8 to start. And third quarter, even beginning of the third quarter, I mean, Knicks, they got down by, 22 in this game? And then in comes Cam Payne. Thibs was like, all right, nothing's working. Cam Payne, please give us a spark. And he did. He gave the Knicks a spark. And then Karl-Anthony Towns was just dominating this basketball game. Dominating, man. And this would have been one of those signature wins of the season that you would have looked back at and be like, wow, man. Coming off a back-to-back, great win in Philly. Got down by so much to this Bulls team. Came all the way back. 17-0 run. Brunson back-to-back clutch shots. And then dagger in your heart after the Josh Hart foul. But oh, man. Ortiz, yep, the cardiac Knicks are back. Damn near gave me a heart attack and lose anyway. Man, oh, man. Ortiz, here we go again with the Knicks starting game slow to then come running up and down the court, catching up and still losing. This was tough, man. I'm not going to lie to you. This was tough, man. A lot of things to point at, and we'll go through it all. A lot of things to point at. Missed free throws in the end, I think in that fourth quarter. Like, none of this really mattered. Like, Towns missed 2 free throws in that fourth quarter that would have put the Knicks up 1, and the Bulls answered. But Knicks got right back in the game. Brunson hit back-to-back clutch shots, and the Knicks had the lead. You had a lead. The thing is, you had a lead in your home building, and all they needed was a 2 to tie the game. And an away team is going to try to attempt a 3 to win the game. And that's what the Bulls did. They tried to get the ball on a lob to Zach LaVine. He was upset that he didn't get the ball. The second read was Kobe White coming off the pick and roll, and they caught him. Josh Hart was behind him, and he fouled him. I know a lot of people saying that's not a foul. I got to look at it again. I saw that his hand was on his hip. He caught his hair. They called it a foul. Hart wasn't really, Knicks didn't have a challenge left, but obviously you would challenge it in that situation, but Hart wasn't really arguing. So, oh, man. Man, oh, man. A lot of comments. I see the frustration in here, man. It's frustrating, man. Big task. I feel so bad for Cat. This is a rough loss I'll be thinking about all night. Jaw skills, man, for sure. This is a rough one, man, that we'll be thinking about not just all night, but for a long time. For a long time. Latoria, it wasn't his mistake. It was the refs. He touched his hair barely. I'm a Knicks fan from the 90s. The refs hated us then, and they hate us now. I get it, Latoria. I get it. It was a ticky tack, but they called it. They called it. Ortiz says, Anthony, not for nothing, but I kind of wanted Payne out there more than Brunson tonight. I'm sorry to say it, but JB cost us the game. Ortiz, when Brunson was at the scores table, that thought did come to my mind because Brunson was having such a bad game. And he's missing a lot of shots that he normally hits. And what do star players do? They overcome it in a blink of an eye. They forget about it like that. And Jalen Brunson, he hit 2 clutch shots for the Knicks down the stretch. 2 of them, back to back. And all they needed was one stop. All they needed was one defensive stop. And Brunson fouled that play in the corner where you had Levine up in the air. He passed it out. Brunson had his hand on the ball in the corner. And then, ticky-tagged. He fouled them, and they went to the free throw line. And, of course, they're not going to miss clutch free throws. But just one play like that would have obviously had the Knicks coming home with a win tonight. But this one sucked. This one sucked, man. Not going to lie to you guys. Creed. Cat is great for us. Brunson really does need to pick it up. His start of the year has been terrible. Gorilla, need to relax. This team is going to get better, and then the bandwagon are going to come out. The emotions of this game. The emotions of this basketball game. 17-0 run to close the third. Going from your worst game to possibly one of your best games of this season. Cat was unstoppable, man. Karl-Anthony Towns is unstoppable. And he's showing you why the Knicks honestly felt comfortable in making that trade. And he's been awesome. The entire season, he has been awesome. Karl-Anthony Towns showed up tonight when the energy was low. It was Towns and Payne. Payne hit some great threes in the third and early in the fourth quarter. Fearless. Campaign is fearless. And look, this is going to stink for a while. But what we know now is Towns is a superstar. Karl-Anthony Towns is a baller. But I'm sure they're feeling like this in the locker room, but they have to pick their head up. You came into this homestand. I was hoping they would run the table 4-0, 4 winnable games. Nothing in the NBA comes easy. And the Knicks start off 0-1. And, now we play Brooklyn twice. And you just got to get it done, man. You just got to start the home cooking. And this season has kind of been like Jekyll and Hyde. I was texting my podcast co-host Chris, and he said it's been Jekyll and Hyde. One good game, one bad game. One good game, one bad game. One good game, one bad game. Great game versus Philadelphia. You feeling good about yourself. You're like, okay, back to back. They can build off of this short trip to New York, and they come out flat. You could tell first back to back. That was the first back to back of the season. You could tell they didn't have it, but they overcame it. They overcame it. Took the lead, 2-point lead in your building. What you don't want to do is foul, and they did. Whether you think it was a foul or not, they called it. It's an L on the season. It is what it is. But what we've seen so far this season from this Knicks team is consistency just hasn't been there. They just haven't been consistent enough. And now it's 11 games in, back under 500, 5-6. And I'm sure they're kicking themselves in that locker room right now because this comeback would have been epic. It was epic, and they lost. It's a tough way to lose, man. Stefan, they sold tonight. Don't tell me you go on a 17-0 run, then take the lead, and then lose. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. Joe Brown says more like win one than back-to-back losses. Yeah, man. Oh, look, you're under 500. This Knicks team hasn't found their rhythm yet. They haven't hit their stride. And it sucks that you lost to a Bulls team that is probably going to be not even a play-in team in the Eastern Conference. And these are the games that no excuses. You got to win. You got to win. Whether it looks ugly, pretty, comeback, no comeback, there's things you can build off tonight. But no excuses, man. You got to win. You got to win nights like tonight. Mike, what's going on? Tough loss. We fought hard. And we look tired, but that shot from Brunson should have been the icing on the cake for us tonight because we deserved it. Bulls blew their lead. The Bulls, one thing about the Bulls is they can be had in the fourth quarter. And the Knicks, I mean, take a look at the second half. 38 points in the third quarter for the Knicks, 38 points in the fourth quarter for the Knicks. And they just needed one stop. Give me one stop, man. And the thing is, from your bench tonight, the only person that showed up was Cameron Payne. I think Deuce is hurt. I think Deuce McBride is hurt. He had a good game versus Philly, but, he really just hasn't been, consistent. And, I think his knee's bothering him. But Cameron Payne, man, Bulls, one thing, the Bulls were attacking him defensively. And that's why the Knicks kind of made that substitution at the end. And, of course, you want to get your Brunson in there. And look, it would have worked out if they would have just got one stop. But Josh Hart just didn't have it tonight for Mr. Hart. And it's a rare occurrence for him. One thing about Josh Hart that I know is that he's probably going to not sleep tonight over this. And you saw when he gets upset, he gets pissed, like he's angry. I'm sure he's angry. He's pissed off. We lost. And it was because they called that foul. So, yeah, man. Oh, man. Cat, 46-10. 46-10. Anunoby. Anunoby started off slow, picked it up a little bit in the fourth. Brunson fouled him down in the paint. 9 rebounds for Anunoby, 2 offensive rebounds. Bridges, the thing about Bridges and Anunoby and Brunson and Hart is all 4 of those guys were literally, they started this game slow. And credit to them trying to find any ounce of energy they could in the fourth quarter. But, it's just his bench, man. I mean, Cameron Payne showed up and McBride just didn't tonight. Jericho Sims was okay tonight. Matt Ryan just didn't give us anything. And obviously the third quarter into the fourth, Cat was playing the entire second half. And yeah, let's go to this bucket. I know a lot of you don't want to see this shot, the still frame of this. But this is literally in the hoop. And that's what made this loss sting even more. This shot was in. This was in. Oh, man. This would have been a hell of a shot from Brunson. And, man, the basketball god said, nope, not tonight. In and out. Sucks, man. Sucks. And this was Brunson for the lead. 36 seconds left again. And this is against Patrick Williams, good defender. He nails a shot. So, Brunson started off terribly. And then credit to him for bouncing back and hitting those back-to-back clutch shots. But, oof. No one is giving Mikal Bridges any love. He had his best game yet. Yeah, look, Mikal I thought was fine tonight. He was fine. Obviously, he's still trying to find his footing within the starters, within obviously the offense. And there was a play in particular where Mikal and Cameron Payne, you can tell they have chemistry. You could tell Cameron Payne and Mikal Bridges have chemistry. There was a play in the third quarter where Mikal had he had a mismatch, and Mikal passed the ball up, and Cameron Payne was like, no. He passed the ball back to Mikal Bridges, like, you're Mikal Bridges. Take this man off the dribble. Like, you're a stud. And Mikal Bridges did exactly that. And that's kind of like what you need to see out of Mikal. Cameron Payne kind of instilled some confidence in him. And he played great in that third with the run with Payne. So the thing about Mikal is I think he plays better when the pace is quicker. When the pace is quicker, when Payne is in the ball game, the Knicks are running the gun, and I think that's where we get the best out of Mikal Bridges. When everything is slowed down, Knicks trying to run their sets, that's where I think things can kind of get tricky for him. But I think he plays better when the pace quickens in the game. And we saw that in the third into the fourth. Nah, we ain't blaming fatigue. Look, no excuses, man. We lost. It is what it is. I'm not blaming anything. I'm not blaming anything. On anything. Coach Sierra, what's going on? We missed key free throws by our best free throw shooters, Cat and Brunson. Yeah. How many free throws did they miss? And they were brutal, man. Those free throws, the one thing about those free throw misses is that they will always come back to bite you. Cat missed 4 free throws tonight. And that is unheard of. He's a 90% free throw shooter on the season. You could tell his misses at the line were eating at him. Brunson missed 2, and that was it. Brunson missed 2, and Cat missed 4. So Knicks were 66% at the free throw line tonight. Flashbacks to last year, which you don't want to see. And that's the one thing that I can kind of be like, okay, that's kind of like an outlier because Karl-Anthony Towns is a 90% free throw shooter. And you can contribute that to some fatigue because he was absolutely gassed. But he was still making plays. In the fourth for the Knicks team. But, yeah, free throws just weren't kind to this team tonight. Those 6 come back to bite you, and you lose by 1. So, smart kid. Mikal played 43 minutes. That's ridiculous. He's not going to be effective playing that much. Creed, appreciate you in here, man. Yeah, smart kid. Look, the thing about that is, I didn't mind it tonight because Mikal was in the lineup that gave you a spark along with Cat. I thought Thibs could have maybe got Cat a 30-second breather to kind of calm things down a little bit because Cat was absolutely gassed and he just needed a quick break. The timeout situation in the second half was weird too. In the third quarter where the Knicks were down 22, Thibs just let them play. He didn't call timeout or anything. He was just all right, play. Whatever. You guys aren't going to have energy tonight. I'm just going to not call timeout and just let you guys figure it out. And just thought he could have got Towns a little 30-second minute breather, just quick sub here and there for a possession. But Towns didn't want to come out the game at that point. I mean, he was dominating. So, I didn't really care about the minutes tonight simply due to the fact that Payne was in there for 17 minutes and he was the igniter tonight. He was a spark plug, and he is going to be the spark plug for the majority of the season for this Knicks team. And Mikal is one of those people. Obviously he's an Iron Man, but this dude I know this is he doesn't I don't even see him sweating. Like, he plays a lot, but it's Mikal's like he can honestly, I think, play that many minutes. But yeah, 43 tonight. I didn't care about the minutes tonight, honestly. That wasn't my concern. But Latoria, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you in here as always. Joe Brown, this is the most talented team off bums I've seen. I can't even believe the team we have ain't blowing teams out, man. Starkolic. Brunson ain't ready yet. Give him to mid-season. Yeah. All right, let's take those clutch shots aside from Jalen Brunson, right? Let's put him on the shelf, which is hard to do. Just for, the argument's sake. Brunson is, like I tweeted on the Knicks Nation page, he doesn't look like he doesn't have his rhythm yet. The exact tweet I'll get. I said Brunson has been missing shots he normally makes. Open threes, floaters, you name it. It's been like that all season. First 11 game, Brunson's just missing shots that he normally makes. He will break out of it soon. Sometimes your star players go through these funks like this. And if I remember, there were stretches during the beginning of last season where he kind of was doing the same, going through funk. He will break out of it. But aside from the clutch shots that he hit tonight, which kind of he can build off of that. Maybe that can give him confidence because those were two amazing clutch shots for Brunson. And it should have been a third. Should have been back-to-back clutch shots. Hopefully, all you can do is pick from that and hope that can build confidence from him and get his rhythm back. Because remember, Brunson didn't really have your typical summer, was dealing with a broken hand. So he wasn't really in the gym shooting. Didn't have your typical summer, and you're seeing that to start, that normal shots that he normally makes, he is not making. And it's frustrating. It is. But, all we can do is wait it out. And you know that he's going to pull through. One thing about JB, guys, you know that Brunson's going to pull through. He's a stud, man. We've seen it. We've seen it from him. I mean, we've seen it in the playoffs. He's carried us, man. He's a stud. He will pull through. And all we can do is just hope that it's soon. But the beauty is, you have Cat aside of him balling out. But still, I mean, you got to pick up these wins, especially in Madison Square Garden and especially at home. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, Mike, I think his hand is kind of bugging him. Obviously, Jalen Brunson is going to say that it's not bothering him, but he did not have your typical summer this year. So, look, only 11 games in. Maybe it takes him 20 games, and then he can start to hit his stride. But the normal floaters, around the rim stuff, I could look it up really quick while I'm talking on cleaning the glass. But the normal stuff that he normally, that's his bread and butter, he's just not converting this year. And, obviously watching it is frustrating. I'm going to look this up on the spot with you guys. This is from Cleaning the Glass. Let's go to his accuracy. Yeah, so short mid-range, he's shooting 41% this season. 25 is 61 from short mid-range. He's in the blue. That is by far the worst of his career. Last year, to put that in perspective, he shot 52% short mid-range. That is where Jalen Brunson wants to operate this year. And he's just not converting. All of his mid-range, he's shooting 40% from mid-range this year. 36 of 89. 42 percentile at his position. And you see the numbers in his previous seasons. 49% last year, 49% 2 years ago. His mid-range is his bread and butter. And this year, he just hasn't found it yet. And he will. The weird thing is that his mid-range is so bad, but his threes are, he's shooting 39% from three. You would think that would be flipped, but it's not. And his efficiency is kind of down, 52% efficiency field goal percentage from JB. So All we can do is hope for the best. All we can do is hope that will come. And it will. It will. They took my Cam Payne out the game. That's why we lost. I wanted Cam Payne to finish the game, but the Bulls were attacking him. And look, credit to the Bulls, man. I know people don't want to hear this, but they were hitting timely threes. I mean, every time the Knicks would go up, the Bulls would hit a three. And it was super frustrating on the Bulls side. And they were attacking Cam Payne defensively, attacking Brunson defensively when they could. It's just the Sumu was killing the Knicks tonight for the Bulls. The Sumu. Ayo, the Sumu. 16 points, 6 assists, and did not miss his free throws late in the end of the game. But the Bulls weathered the storm and they pulled through. And that's not what you want to hear because we're Knicks fans, but you just got to give them credit. They came into here and games like tonight, you need to win. You need to. If you want to be a great team in the Eastern Conference, if you want to be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, which I think you will be when it's all said and done, you want to finish these games at home. You want to take care of business at Madison Square Garden because it's a winnable game. It's a winnable game. And after all that you went through in the first half into the third quarter, for you not to pull this one out stings even more. So this one sucked, man. Talented Nate, we need to start taking advantage of opposing teams letting us take the lead on these games. Can't go for a miss on consecutive possessions. Yeah, one stop, man. One stop. Gorilla Nick says Cat is still at the Garden shooting free throws. He's a great player. I'm sure he's probably not. Yeah, I see it right here. He said he's shooting free throws right now. It just sucks, man. You could tell it's bothering him. Obviously, it's bothering him, but it sucks because those free throws at the end. I'm not gonna say they lost the Knicks the game, but they that hurt. That hurt. But credit to Cat for doing that. Honestly, he's a great player, amazing player. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even have a chance to be in this basketball game tonight. There wouldn't be a chance to even be in this game tonight. Bulls had 18 turnovers and still won. Yeah. This one sucked, man. This one sucked. I'm trying to pick up my mood for you guys, but I'm still thinking about the ending. But it is what it is, man. You got to move on. At the end of the day, you got 2 games versus Brooklyn coming up, and you got to win these games. You got to. It didn't help like LaVine played like prime Jordan. The thing about Zach LaVine is you kind of held him in check in the fourth. He hit tough shots during the game, but he almost had a bad turnover there at the end of the game. And Knicks couldn't capitalize on that. But yeah, 12 of 17 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, 31 points, 8 assists for LaVine. Was killing us, man. And Mikal was kind of like his primary defender. So you got to turn off his water a little bit. And I know you have tired legs coming off a back-to-back, but the thing that sucks is you kind of held him in check in that fourth. But move on, man. It is what it is. Oh, boy. Josh can put up more than 6 points for all the time he is on the floor. Chris, look, the thing about Josh Hart is he scored in double digits in every single basketball game this year. And tonight was the first game where he didn't score in double digits. And he just made a boneheaded mistake at the end of the game. Just boneheaded mistake. You don't foul in that situation. And he knows that. He's a smart player, high basketball IQ. But in that situation, you just don't even let the referee think about calling a foul. Just let him shoot it at that point. You got beat coming off the pick and roll. Just let him shoot it and pray to the basketball gods that shot didn't go in. Does not go in. And refs saw his hand on his hip, saw his hand hit his hair, and they called a foul. So, Joe Brown, man, I'm about to go in the bathroom and cry, bro. This hurt more than when my high school sweetheart left. Oh, man. I don't think it hurt that much, Joe, but I feel you, man. I feel you. This one stung a lot. And, all right, so what the Knicks have to just throw this in. There's some positives to take out of this. Obviously, it's good to see Cameron Payne give that energy, that spark off the bench that we needed. I want to see if Deuce McBride is Deuce has kind of been hot and cold here. I think his knee is bothering him. He has a heavy wrap on that knee. So I'm going to just chalk that up to his knee is not where he wants it to be. And, maybe the Knicks have to decide to kind of give him a couple of days off here to kind of get him right. Deuce tonight, 23 minutes, only took 4 shots, 2 assists. He was plus 10 for this Knicks team. So, the only person that showed up was Cameron Payne off that bench. And, it's the bench scoring. I think the Knicks are, I want to get this stat, but, in terms of bench scoring, the Knicks are probably one of the worst in the NBA. But obviously that has to do with injuries. We just have to wait and see where the situation with Precious is. If he's, coming back soon, he should be coming back soon. But a lot of things to point at tonight. I mean, it's Brunson's slow start. Anunoby started rough from shooting the basketball. And the thing about tonight is the Knicks looked sluggish. Mike Breen said it the best in the first half. They looked like they were playing in mud. They were open shots, and they were just missing. And Mikal, I think I have a stat here from Mikal. That's Mikal is 6 of 29 from 3 over his last 5 games. So he's now 6 out of his last 29 from 3. That's just below 20% from 3. 1 of 4 tonight. Just little things where you can point at and build, try to just gotta find a rhythm, man. I mean, Matt Ryan played again tonight, but he did absolutely nothing. I'm not sure if Tom Thibodeau is going to stick with Matt Ryan because he hasn't given Thibs any reason to keep on sticking with him. First half, I think he fouled, was it Levine behind the 3-point line? Not sure if that experiment's going to stay. I hope. Or maybe you throw in Daddy in there. But it's good that Thibs is expanding his rotation. That's a step in the right direction. Not complaining off of that, but yeah. Knicks 100 GM, what's going on, man? Appreciate you in here. These are the games that come back and cost you your division title. Look, I like coming into the season, obviously Boston is in our division, so you would think Boston is going to win the division. And look, the reality of the situation is the Knicks are 5-6 now. They're under 500 again. Looking at their schedule, Jekyll and Hyde, hot and cold. Amazing one game, not good the next. Look at their last 5 games. Bad loss in Houston, bad loss in Atlanta, great win versus Milwaukee, bad loss in Indiana, great win yesterday at Philly, bad loss tonight, but you were right there tonight. And the crowd all night just wanted to feed. They just wanted something to cheer about, and the Knicks, they went on that run, which was amazing, but it just sucks that they couldn't pull through. And I wanted to get to 5-5, going back to MSG, getting feeling good about yourself. And you essentially have to win all your next 3 games. You need to win. You need to win. I said 4-0 on this homestand, 3-1 at worst. Anything other than that, to me, is not acceptable. To me. This team is too talented. Too talented to be having Chicago coming to your stadium, Brooklyn stealing a game. God forbid you lose to Washington at home, which I don't think is going to happen. But, look, 11 games in, Jekyll and Hyde all season long. And this is when I really thought the Knicks were finding something at Miami, at Detroit. But back-to-back on the season. Just credit to the team for pulling through. 17-0 run to close the third. Tried to win the game at the end. Brunson shot halfway down. I guess the positives is, you fought your way back. This team did not quit. And they didn't quit. They showed you that even though they're going to be down by 20-something points, they have it in them to come back. This team did not quit. I remember last season there was a lot of bad losses early on last season too, if I'm not mistaken, and then we pulled it together. So this builds character. Losses like tonight build character. And early on in the season, you want to get these out the way. You want to get these out the way. And this Knicks team still trying to find their rhythm, find themselves. And once they get once they start to find a rhythm, once everything starts to click, then I think things will be rolling. It just sucked that tonight we lost. It sucked. Joe, we need to run that lineup that got us back in. Payne, McBride, Hart, Bridges, and Towns. Yeah, Joe. But the thing is, if the Knicks, all right, if I would agree with you, if the Knicks went off into the night and when Cameron Payne got subbed out, Bulls went on a 10-0 run and the Knicks lost by 10. I would be like, okay, I would have came on here and said, Thibodeau, why didn't you just stick with Cameron Payne? But your star point guard Brunson hit those clutch threes. Nice pass to Anunoby, clutch shots down the stretch, excuse me. Nice pass to Anunoby for a dunk. Remember, the Knicks fell back by 4 late in the fourth. So, just one stop. Just one stop. Just one stop. Disc Rover, I'm really beginning to despise. We only decide to play basketball when the game is almost over. Yeah, tonight was just one of those games where it's like I was just staring at my screen. It was like third quarter, and I was just like, this is really how they're going to play tonight? Like, they're really just going to go out like this and they just flip the switch, and it's just... Yeah, Knicks, that's the thing. The Knicks have always been, like last year, we had tough losses too last season, in the beginning of the season. Like, I remember them vividly. And obviously we made a couple of trades that kind of changed our season. But, it's still November, and, you get these out the way and you just build off the positives. Now Cameron Payne can give you that spark off the bench. And like we always knew. But Towns is a stud. Brunson is not going to continue to shoot terribly from mid-range. He's not. Those shots will go in. Bridges can build off tonight. Anunoby was having an amazing season. Is having an amazing season. Tonight was just kind of off for him. Minutes are starting to catch up to him a little bit. Back-to-back. It's a back-to-back. I shouldn't say that minutes are starting to catch up to him. It's just a back-to-back. Josh Hart was just, he's having a career year, but tonight he just sucks, man. This Rover, Thibs also has a fetish for seniority, which is why he keeps putting in Matt Ryan again instead of our rookies. Matt Ryan. Look, the thing is with Matt Ryan, he can replicate what the Knicks lost in Landry Shamet. I think that the Knicks were going to have Landry Shamet in this rotation, and he went down with an injury. And Ryan can kind of, he's not like Shamet is better than Ryan, but Ryan can kind of replicate that a little bit. But yeah, Daddy A, I'm just happy that Thibodeau he expanded the rotation these last couple of games. And, it's 2 games of Matt Ryan. He's going to he's going to find, it's 2 games of Matt Ryan. He was just an Uber driver or something, right? I mean, just sign him off the street. So it's just 2 games of Matt Ryan. And he's still trying to learn the plays, learn the system, learn his spots. And all you wanted to see out of that is Tom Thibodeau just going to him. Because we couldn't keep up this seven-man rotation. Couldn't. So that's all you wanted to see. Like White Boy Trey, Matt Ryan will get it cooking soon. Yes, he will. Tough game for this Knicks team, man. This one sucked. Got another game on Friday that you must win, and you just got to pull it through. Do the Men in Black flash. Forget about this one. Build off of this one, and just Friday is another opportunity to start another winning streak, and this one sucks, though. Appreciate every single one of you in here. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you guys wanted to become a member and support, that would be absolutely incredible. Just hit the join button. There's 2 options, $2.99 a month or $4.99 a month. You can get behind-the-scenes videos and stuff, and I also post videos for our members, and we will also be doing a private podcast for the members once we hit 10 members. So appreciate every single one of you in here. I'm going to try to sleep this one off and wake up tomorrow, but I have a feeling that this one's going to sting. This one is definitely going to sting. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.